I feel like the reason why I did it before wasn't more for like, oh, I'm gonna do this because of fitness. It was more of like, oh, I'm gonna do this because I need like something to prove to like my boyfriend that I can be quote unquote sexy or whatever, because I like didn't feel that way before. Whereas like now, after going through this program with Lauren, like I'm strictly just doing this for myself and like for the fun of it and for wanting to learn new things after like changing my whole mindset about everything. Well, definitely before working with Lauren, I really had like no self confidence. I really couldn't do anything at the gym. I was just doing cardio. I had no like real quote unquote motivation or discipline. But I also learned working with Lauren that like motivation isn't really going to get you completely to where you want to go. I learned that it's more of like the discipline. So working with Lauren, like not only did I have to find motivation where I couldn't, I also had to build this discipline and build this habit. But before, I was just like, oh, really kind of lost and not really doing things for myself and just like, oh, I guess I should do this because I kind of want a nice body, but it wasn't really getting me progress just because my mindset wasn't like in the right place. But after working with Lauren and like sharing my experiences with her and really learning about my body and also what I want to do with my body, I've been able to grasp like um what my real goals are now. It isn't just like, oh, I just want a nice butt or a flat stomach. Like I've been moving into goals like, oh my god, I really want like nice arms, or I want like a strong back, or just things like that. It's they're all really little changes, but I think they're changes that helped my mindset a lot and got me going into the right direction. And that's like one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to work with Lauren in the first place, is because the attitude that she has is like, she's just so driven that I think it also like bled onto me as well. I had been following her for a really long time and I was just like, what the heck? Like this girl is so cool, and like I think just any opportunity to work with her would be really amazing, because like I just wanted to get inside her head as well too and see like what was driving her so much, and like what made her so motivated to do the things that she's doing. And I feel like as much as like Lauren learned from me or learned about me, I feel like I learned a lot about Lauren as well too, and the way that she runs her life. And it's just like she's that positive influence that I really needed in my life to also get my life going in the right direction. I do feel like she's helped me become a more positive person, and she's also helped me um change my mindset in the way where I can find alternative routes. Because before, I used to think like, I used to hit a roadblock and then I would just be like, oh my god, okay, this is over. At least I tried. Like everything is done with already. But working with Lauren, she's been able to help me overcome my roadblocks and teach me how to also overcome just any roadblocks that might get in my way in the future. Fixing up my diet a little bit, and then two was just going to the gym and actually doing what I needed to do, because prior to working with Lauren, I was also a really shy gymmer just in general, where I would like hide out in the cinema room at my gym where it was like a huge dark room and no one could see me. But Lauren was just like, nope, like I want you to take a video and like I need you to ask someone to take that video for you. And so it really helped me step out of my shell and like reach out to other people at the gym as well, even if it's just like, hey, can you take a quick video of my form or something like that. So it really helped me open up and be comfortable and be actually comfortable in the gym, because I think that was an issue before. I just wasn't comfortable being in the gym by myself and working out. So building that comfortability up really has made going to the gym more enjoyable now. So that was one of the biggest things that Lauren helped me do. She just really pushed me into it. She was just like, nope, like if you need someone to video, you're gonna ask someone to video because I need to see your form. And I was just like, oh my god. She didn't make me switch up my diet completely, because that was one thing that I was super, super afraid of, was just like, okay, you're like meal plan, like just eat chicken and broccoli every single day. You can't have carbs. And like, that's what I was really fearing. But Lauren doesn't approach it that way. I literally ate, I feel like, everything that I wanted to eat. And like I ate all the fast food I wanted as well too, but it was really about like portion control. And I think Lauren and I also had like weekly goals where I would like include veggies of color into every single meal for that week. And then there was another week where I had to start my week off, or start my days off, with a complex carb, so eating things like sweet potatoes, um, to help fill me up and keep me full. And then for lunch, I could just also plan around that so that I could have that dinner with my family. And she just worked around basically all my issues with me. And I feel like my program with Lauren has gone really smoothly. Like, I haven't hit many roadblocks. It was more of just like the little things that I feel like she helped me adjust that made everything really good. It was such a life-changing experience, and I don't even know if I said it yet, but I lost 15 pounds and like 4 inches off, like 3-4 inches off my waist. My biggest advice is just know what you want, because you can't go into this with the mindset of, oh, like, I kind of want to lose weight, but I also just want to look good. You can't have that mindset going into it. You have to really know like what you want and why you want it, and you have to be ready to make that change, because it doesn't seem like a lot, because Lauren does like little adjustments, but they're actually huge changes to both lifestyle and your mindset that Lauren helps you with. So like, going into this program, you just really have to be committed and ready to go through what Lauren is going to put you through. I think that's like my biggest advice, is just be 100% committed and be 100% ready. Consistency. I think that's what really scared me, because when I lose consistency sometimes, like, even if I just don't go to the gym for a day, or if I like have a cheat meal, or something like that, that that throws me off a lot. And like, I always went to Lauren like every single time I overate, or like anytime I missed the gym, I was always like, oh my god, like, I'm losing all my progress because I ate like 3 big meals today when I was only supposed to eat one big meal. And I think it was more about like being consistent that I felt like I couldn't do. But I mean, I've been off this program and I'm still like going to the gym daily, and it's like this discipline is built up in you whether you know it or not, I feel like. And that was one thing that I was afraid was not going to happen, was this discipline being formed in my into like my lifestyle basically. So I was afraid like, oh my gosh, like, what if like halfway through it I just kind of like lose motivation or lose this discipline, and I stop eating the way I'm supposed to. I stop working out, because for a moment I did stop tracking my meals, because it just got a little bit too hard, where I was like eating out a little bit too much, and it was just very complicated to track all the calories. So there was like a couple times throughout the program that I did stop tracking what I was eating, and that really scared me, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm already stopping this and I'm like 35 days in, and I already like am not wanting to track my stuff. Like, what if this is going to be detrimental? But I think after building up that discipline and just really solidifying into myself that this is something that I need to do, I kind of got over that fear of me not being consistent. And I also had to learn how to like forgive myself as well too, for not being consistent, because that's the one thing I'm really afraid of. And I would like beat myself down hard if I wasn't being consistent. So forgiving myself for inconsistency was also something that I had to overcome as well. Before, when I would overeat and I felt bad for overeating, I would like try to compensate for it by not eating the next day, or like not just like starving myself the day after. And it almost turned into like this whole like binge eating pattern that used to happen, and I know that that wasn't healthy. But after working with Lauren, I really learned that like, okay, like, even if I do overeat by a lot, even if it's like 2 days that I overeat by a lot, it doesn't mean that I have to starve myself. Like, I can forgive myself for that, and then just, stick to the program. Just trust that this is gonna work. My weight's gonna fluctuate no matter what, but in the end, it's still gonna, like, my body's still gonna see change. And that was just like, that was also like a little mental roadblock that I had to overcome as well too. Just the way that I carry myself now is just a lot more about me, as opposed to like what other people think about me. I think I actually surprisingly enjoyed, one, the workouts the most, because it's surprising because I usually don't like working out, but like, I've been loving, like, especially doing like upper body. That's one thing that I love, but I also loved the support that Lauren gave. It was like really unconditional support, I think, and I just felt like her being there helped me so much more in this fitness thing, because like, you can get like a fitness program anywhere, and then like you can go out and do that, but it's just like having that person there to kind of motivate you and really hold you accountable for the things that you have to do really helped me. And that was like one of the biggest things. Like Lauren not she doesn't only care about your fitness goals, but she cares about your mindset and lifestyle goals as well too. And that was like really huge for me because she was almost like sort of like a mini therapist for me when I was like coming to her about like what was giving me anxiety, not just about the program but in life as well, and like why I didn't feel, or like why I was feeling this way, and then how it affected basically this program. And so everything just kind of like went full circle. Everything kind of like tied together really well. Just the way that she does it, because like obviously if you're stressed out about something that's outside of your fitness life, it's going to affect your fitness life. And so like Lauren makes it a point to also care about things that happen outside of your fitness life. It's very holistic. It's very like spiritual, but it's also like really healing as well too, because the things that she says, it makes you feel like you can be forgiven for not being consistent, or just like everything that has been done in the past. Like that's the past. Like we're just going to focus on the future and what you can do to better your future. I honestly, I went into it with it like as open mindedly as I could. I expected just for us to have a lot of fun, for us to bond. I honestly expected it to be a lot harder to bond with everyone, but it was really nice to get along with everyone. And that's something I told Lauren too. Like all of us girls who went, we shared very similar qualities in terms of like the way we thought and our past experiences. And I think that also shows what kind of person Lauren is, because the energy that Lauren gives off attracts people like us, where like we've gone through like lots of hardships in life, and like we're really looking for a change in our life. And we were really able to connect because we all had similar experiences in the past, whether it be from like ex-boyfriends or past relationships or just things like that. So it was really easy to bond with everyone, and it allowed Lauren to open up about herself as well too. And I just feel like it was just overall a really great experience, because everybody's just so similar, and we think that, oh my god, we're the only, we're the only ones going through what we're going through. But then you meet these girls, and you also meet Lauren. Like Lauren also had a period of like negativity as well too. Like she had gone through what all of us are going through currently as well, and that's what has made her so strong. And like I know that she just wants us to be strong as well too, like her. It was a really nice experience because it was so easy to bond with everyone, and it was just overall so fun. And there was not ever a moment where we weren't talking about something or like sharing something from our lives. It was just so cool to get to know these girls too. And like all the girls in this program are amazing, and they're strong in their own ways as well too. Like everybody's just, I don't know, everybody's just really great. We had gone on this hike called Angel's Landing, and it was like probably the most terrifying experience of my life, because I have such a huge fear of heights, and this was like literally a cliffside hike. Like you had to climb along just like this one little ridge of a cliff. And there was a moment where I had asked Lauren if she could like hike behind me so I could feel a little bit more secure. And so a little bit of that hike helped she had helped me mentally by hiking behind me, because she was kind of like my quote unquote safety. But then halfway through the hike, she actually left me. So she was like, I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to go on my own. And I want you to do this alone too. And I was just like, I was floored. I was like, oh my god, Lauren, you can't leave me. But she left, and then I did the hike, and that's when I realized that I'm a lot stronger than I really thought. I was a lot stronger than I thought I was. And I did the hike alone. I met Lauren at the top, and that was like one of the best moments I feel like I ever felt, because I was the only one who was emotional when I got up there. I was like bawling my eyes out, because I was just like, oh my god, I actually did this. And I did it without the support of anyone. I did it on my own volition, on my own will, with my own strength. And that was like one of the highlights of the trip, I think. It was also doing that hike and kind of going through that learning experience where I didn't need Lauren's hand to hold me and guide me through everything. I'm able to like do this on my own and live life on my own, because like she also got me thinking about like, oh, like after the program, like she can't always be holding my hand even after this program has ended. And I think that was like the moment she had to let go, and I realized that she needed to let go, and I realized that I needed to do things on my own. So that was just like a really eye-opening experience for me, just that hike in general, honestly. Like, this experience has taught me that as great as like this whole thing is, it's just like I can do it on my own as well. I have the strength to do it, even past like after working with Lauren, and she taught me that. And I'm just like so happy that she taught me that, because like now I feel like I can fully commit to myself and like learn how to love myself without having someone else love me too, you know. I really do feel like what like Lauren does for you is like this whole like rebirth of a person. Like, I don't even feel like how I did 4 or 5 months ago, you know. Like, in just these 3 months I feel like a completely different person. It gets you thinking about these like life changes, even though it doesn't really seem like it's such a huge shift. Like, it really does make a huge impact on your lifestyle. I did have a little bit of anxiety on like one thing that kind of like I was apprehensive about was, one thing was definitely the pricing, but I feel like that's just with anything, pricing will kind of scare me. But another thing was also like Lauren's involvement. I didn't think that Lauren was going to be so involved, and I like underestimated her in that, because I was just like, because I have seen like other personal training types, and like the gym I'm at, like their personal training, even like in-person personal training didn't feel very personal, like looking at it from an outside perspective. So I was like, oh, if this is online, am I really gonna get like as much out of it? And that was one thing I was afraid of. But I think like after you speak to Lauren for the first time, I feel like that apprehension just goes out the door, because you're like, okay, wait, no, I have a coach who's going to be committed and also driven. You're not going to regret it if you try this program, even if you feel like you're not ready. I would say, as long as you're in the mindset to do everything, even if you feel like, oh, I don't know if I actually can, if you're going to commit to making it work, I think that it's going to work out for you. And I think that this is going to be a really great experience. I think just the commitment, that 100% commitment has to be there. You have to be 100% open and trusting as well too, with Lauren and the whole process, and yourself as well. Just trust Lauren, trust the process, trust yourself, and commit. Lauren builds a family, like she builds a community. It isn't also just about you and Lauren as well too, but you're also getting to know other girls in this program doing the same thing as you, and there's this support system that isn't just Lauren now, but it's also a support system of other girls. And that's another thing. Okay, that's what I forgot to mention, is this support system of like the other girls, and like also relying on, also like you can hit up the other girls in the program, not just Lauren, about the things that you're going through. And I know like in the group right now there's like weekly questions, and then there's the reflections. Just be prepared to like do a lot of introspecting and lots of learning.